Let's bring Mick Aussie in right now. Monday Night Football. And we got Major League Baseball going on, but Mick's not a big baseball guy. He's more cricket. Mick's a football guy, though. Mick Aussie in the house. And look at Mick, the big front runner. Now that the Broncos are winning games, he's got his mug and his jersey out again. Like earlier in the season, I said, where's the Bronco stuff? He said, oh, they're too terrible. You're a big Bronco fan again, Mick, huh? Back on the Bronco bandwagon.
3-2, mate. But last week I wore the Von Miller jersey. I better not wear that this week. Some women might get upset at me, right?
Yeah, Von Miller. I'm upset. It's disappointing. I was hoping, I don't really know what he did, he didn't do, but I don't like when guys on my team. Like, I don't like to see it. All right, Derek Carr just threw a touchdown pass. Touchdown Saints. Touchdown Saints. We got ourselves a football game, especially as to Foster Moreau. So, Mick, all kidding aside, wins are wins, right? Whether it's pretty, how it happens, and you know what I mean? Like how many yards the quarterback throws for. None of that stuff matters, man. All that matters is the standings. And suddenly the Denver Broncos have a 3-2 record and are tied for second place right now.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. I mean, it was level early, and then they just kicked away. And there was a couple of drop passes, could have been even more touchdowns. Bo Nix got into it a little bit with Sean Payton on the sidelines. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. And, of course, Patrick Surtain, too, is absolutely starring. I'm listening to a radio show today, and they call him PS2, PlayStation 2, Patrick Surtain. Then they saying VJ. I'm going, Vance Joseph. Like, everyone has to have an acronym for their name now. Isn't it only Michael Jordan, MJ, or someone famous like that? Everyone's got a friggin' initials for their name now, mate. Getting a bit out of control, isn't it? But
it is what it is. It's marketing, Mick. My deal is, though, I don't have a problem with it. We talk about this. You know what the problem is, Mick? In the old days, players had good nicknames, right? Like players would actually have a nickname, and it was a cool nickname. Like you said, now every player just has that, whatever. CP3, CB4, PS2. Like, you know what I mean? They all go for just the 3 letters and a number, and it's cool for them. You know what I mean, Mick? Put it this way, Mick. If you were a multimillionaire and you were playing in a league, I'd get a chain, GM1 or something. Gabe Morency one. Like, you know what I mean? Have some nick, hey, I'm GM1, number 1 or whatever. You get the diamond necklace and whatever with your logo on it, and that's the modern world we're in now, Mick.
Mate, I've had so many nicknames myself over the years. Us Aussies, we give nicknames out all the time. Not as much here in Canada, but
so what were some of your nicknames?
Oh, well, some I can't mention, but one of them was...
Yeah, I was going to say that. All right, yeah, exactly.
All right, I'll give you one. You might laugh at this. Shuggy Narkle was one, because Narkle was a player that wore a helmet in Aussie rules football, and I wore a helmet when I was like 17 playing against the men, right? So I kept getting belted in the head. Another one was, you love this one. I used to love tennis, and I didn't pronounce my T's properly. So for the score, instead of saying 30-40, apparently I'd say Thurgy-Forgy. So I got a nickname, Thurgy-Forgy. There you go. It's kind of funny.
Mick Aussie. So, listen, the Broncos play the Chargers this week. Big division game. Talking about the standings right now, trying to battle for a playoff spot. You take it 1 week at a time, but these division games are massive. And you're coming off the win against the Raiders. Broncos are 3-point home underdogs, Mick. Chargers are 3-point road favorites in this game.
Oh, mate, I reckon that's one of my best bets, isn't it? At +3, and I'm even going to take them on the money line. But the battle of two excellent coaches, really like both of them. I know you like Harbaugh because of Michigan days. Peyton's doing all right. I'm not a massive fan, but he's doing well. He's got that team going. I like the Broncos to win. The soft surfers, the Chargers, sure, having a bye helped them, but they're a bit soft, mate. I reckon our defense can hold their offense. I do like Herbert. He's a good player, but I think our defense can absolutely hold them, like I said, and up there at Mile High, they'll be short breath. They'll be thinking of going surfing, and we can beat them and go to 4-2. That would be amazing if we could go to 4-2. Big game. Big game.
Speaking of big games, it was a big gain for Juju Smith-Schuster having a big game tonight. 6 catches, 117 yards. He just caught a big play, 50 yards. A lot of it was yard after the catch once again. A little quick slant over the middle of the field. So Juju Smith-Schuster having a night tonight. 6 catches, 117 yards. We got that Kelsey prop over 10.5. Kelsey stuck at 9 catches right now for 70 yards. We could use one more catch from Noah Gray as well. We got Noah Gray over 2.5. So as well as we've done with the prop bets tonight, there's still a couple of others that we've left on the table. We got Kareem Hunt over 86.5 yards. Kareem Hunt is currently at 82. Yet they should run the ball right now. And here's Kareem Hunt. And Kareem Hunt just picked up. He just went over. Or he's going to be close. Yeah, Mick. We're doing. Oh, here's a flag on the play though. Flag. I don't know what the flag is. Let's see. Big part of the game here, Mick. Let me ask you. I know you're not a big Steeler guy. We talk about the Eagles. You like the Eagles, but who's the team in the NFL you hate the most? Because the Chiefs are the penalties on the Saints. Because the Chiefs are a division rival. I'm just sick of the Chiefs winning all the time, Mick. I don't know about you, but are you a Chief hater? Do you hate the Chiefs?
I do, but I don't. I can't hate their ability. Like, you gotta like Mahomes. He's an absolute star. Met a nice girl from Kansas City one day, so kind of not a hater. Absolutely Steelers, number one, and so glad the Cowboys beat.
We'll never stop giving you.
Thursday night, we've got the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. 2 football teams coming off of surprising losses, and they were big both favorites, obviously. San Francisco, even bigger favorites, losing to the Arizona Cardinals. Wild year this year in the National Football League. It's a week-to-week league, Mick, but it was a wild Sunday. San Francisco and Seattle. What's your pick, Mick, right now? San Francisco are 3-point favorites over the Seahawks on Thursday.
Oh, you would think they'd get their act together, but that's amazing how the Cardinals came back and beat them. Then the Seahawks getting beaten by the Giants in that amazing, crazy, loud stadium. Just shows how crazy the NFL is early. And I don't bet too much until about now, just because it's so up and down. I'll take the 49ers thinking they can come good. So, tough game, though. You never know. Either team can win that one, absolutely.
All right, so let me, before we get you out of here, CFL football. The Edmonton Elks are now eliminated. And our boy Avery, I saw Avery, and shout out to Avery. I know you see him sometimes. I saw him tweet out, it's the first time in like 40 years, 45 years. Yeah. Like it's never happened, actually. Like the modern CFL, that Edmonton and Calgary both are not in the playoffs. Pretty crazy. So how about this, guys? All 4 playoff series in baseball are tied at 1 right now after 2 games. So speaking of playoffs, the CFL playoffs are around the corner. We only have a couple of weeks left of play in the regular season. I've already got my tickets to the Grey Cup. It's not looking too good for the BC Lions to get to the Grey Cup right now. This Winnipeg Blue Bomber team, Mick, is on fire. They've won 6 in a row now. So the updated Grey Cup odds right now, the Montreal Alouettes are plus 190 favorites. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers are plus 210. The BC Lions, who host, the game is in Vancouver, but they don't have home field advantage in the playoffs, BC. So they would have to win out Winnipeg. BC are plus 450. The Rough Riders are 6-1. The Argonauts are plus 750. The Ottawa Red Blacks are 12-1. And the Hamilton Tiger Cats, who aren't eliminated from the playoffs yet, are 35-1 with that big number. Who do you think plays in the Grey Cup, Mick? What 2 teams do you think are going to play in the Grey Cup?
Oh, mate, I'll give you a better idea in about 2 weeks, because you know as well as I do, you just got to get hot at the right time of year. You get a couple of injuries now, and you're in big trouble. Teams have won it at 8-10 regular season record. You know that. I'd probably say Bombers and Alouettes right now, but I think BC can come good. I really think they could. Riders are okay. Like, it was a great game here Saturday night, mate. One of the best games I've ever been to. High scoring, no wind, beautiful night. It went over. You were a bit worried early about the under-over, but it did go over. But news here is, like, they reckon they need a new president, a new GM, so it's rumours maybe Ed Hervey comes back. Maybe Sean Fleming, who's a very smart man, the ex-kicker punter. He might be president, they're hoping. And then maybe Vernon Adams Jr. Someone will get him because they can't have two star quarterbacks at BC. So where will Vernon Adams end up? Here or at Calgary? Because unfortunately they've treated Trey Ford terribly, mate. You know that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think you're right about Vernon Adams. I think Vernon Adams is going to end up on the Calgary stand. The Stampeders need a quarterback. Let's just call it off what it is.
Yeah.
Right? They gave Jake Mayer the chance. It didn't work. And Mayer's a quality. He could be a good backup. You know, Schultz came in the other day. He looked okay, but he's not a number one quarterback for you. So it makes a lot of sense if Vernon Adams ends up on the Calgary Stampeders when it's all said. And I wonder about Bo Levi Mitchell and his contract in Hamilton as well. You know, they're paying him a lot of money. I don't know like what the out clause is or what's guaranteed and what isn't. But you're right, Mick. I was thinking Ottawa sort of as a dark horse. But the problem with Ottawa is, if you'll notice, they've kind of cooled off a little bit, right? They were 8-2, like they're losing more than they're winning now. They were winning earlier in the season, and they kind of had a favorable schedule earlier in the year. You know, they it was always something. They always had a backup quarterback. The other team just played. It was like Ottawa were always in a good spot, and they took advantage of it. So I don't really, I don't know if they can, like you said, you get hot at the right time. I wouldn't dismiss them. I hate, who I'll say, Mick? The Argos, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, it's probably going to be the Alouettes and the Blue Bombers, but I'd say the Argos are the one team. They're pretty dangerous. Like if the Argos are on, they can go into Montreal and beat them.
Yeah, absolutely. They can get hot now. Chad Kelly's had a few games back playing after that. Well, we won't go there, but I thought it was a very lengthy suspension, but some people think he shouldn't even be playing. But you know what? He didn't even touch her. He did the wrong thing. We all know that. Chad Kelly can get hot. Argos can get hot. Riders are better than I thought. Harris is a pretty good quarterback. But I'm like you, mate. I'm really hoping BC Lions get their act together, especially at home out there in Pammy's BC Place, mate. It'll be rocking. They've picked up the crowds out there. Footy's going very well in BC, as you know.
Thanks, Mick. Congratulations on your Broncos.
Yeah, it's about time. We've been so bad for so long. It's been really bad. But, hey, I'm not that hopeful we'll make the playoffs. Hopefully, though.
Thanks, Mick.
See ya.